Okay, so should we get started?
Started.
I'm gonna say it's 6:32, but it's 9:32 for most of you. It's just lucky for me to be 6:32. Okay, so welcome to today's role-playing wrap-up / the first of our new Tuesday programming, which is all about role-playing. So many of you have joined us for 8 weeks with Ethan to do a role-play accountability group. We started with Pitching Compass, we did online leads, expired listings, and FISBOs, and we practiced on Tuesday as a group, and then you met with your own accountability groups throughout the week to build up your role-playing skills so that you never have to practice on your prospect. And because so many of you we've heard feedback how much you loved role-playing. We see whenever we do role-playing what a popular topic it is, and everybody has a scenario that they want us to act out. We've also seen some incredible performances throughout the 8 weeks. So we thought we'll do a wrap-up session today to celebrate the 8 weeks of work everybody who was in that program did, while also giving an opportunity for people who are not in that program to see what our new Tuesdays are going to look like and the benefit of role-playing. And we'll ask the groups, what they've learned and the value in it. And you'll also get to see them act out. I feel like I'm running an improv now. You'll also get to see them role play the 4 different scenarios we did work on, so you can sharpen your own skills for Pitching Compass, FISBOs, expireds, and online leads. So I will be asking for volunteers, so please don't be shy. I know you won't be, many of you, to do these role plays. And then Chirag and Ethan will be like the Adam Levine and Blake Shelton of the call today. They'll be the judges. They'll be giving input, how you're doing. They'll be the gauge. We'll turn to them before and after for tips, and I'll throw some tips on the screen too. And then after they'll let you know if they'll pick you for their team or not. Just kidding. You're all on their teams, but they will give you feedback on how to enhance your performance.
I take all of them. They gotta all be on my team.
Well, would you like to be Blake or Adam Levine, Ethan?
No, I'm definitely Blake.
Okay, all right.
Well,
then
like
is Adam Levine. I know he doesn't know who he is.
I have no idea about any of this, but I'm a willing participant.
Okay, great. I feel like some big voice fans on the phone, only if they're the people that I'm related to. So let's get started. I'm going to put up, does anybody have any questions before we get started about what the Tuesday format will look like moving forward? You'll be prompted in advance to send us role play scenarios that you want to see workshopped with Chirag. And then we can incorporate those too. So these are the 4 that we've been working on for the past 8 weeks, but moving forward, it's send us what you got and we'll try to make room for it on the docket.
To piggyback onto what Rachel's saying is, look, we also understand that due to the large national group of people we have here, every market's different and the market's changing very quickly in each area. So we want to make sure that what we're doing is relevant. And that's why we decided to do role playing in this way and for you guys to send things in, right? We want to make sure week by week that we can make sure to work with you side by side in your business versus just kind of inventing what we think are the best scenarios. We find the best scenarios are the ones that are most relevant to you in your marketplace.
Yeah, and I just want to say, while I've had an amazing time these last 8 weeks. It's been so much fun getting to know all of you and hearing from many of you every week about your wins and successes and putting into practice what we did. So that obviously makes all of us feel very good. And while Chirag's going to take over as facilitating the Tuesday role playing, I am always available. My contact information should be in your phone already if you are a member of Compass, which all of you are. So please feel free, if you need any advice, questions, scenarios, whatever it may be, you could always reach out to me anytime. I am not going anywhere. Just Tuesday morning is now going to be Chirag facilitating, but I am still here for all of you if you need me.
That is so generous, Ethan. Thank you so much for everything you've done for the past 8 weeks and like getting us all into really good role-playing shape. You have definitely led the charge and have given some quite award-worthy performances yourself.
I like that role-playing shape.
Role-playing shape.
Role-playing shape. That's the only shape I'm in this winter, role-playing shape.
Yeah, that makes two of us.
So can I get 2 volunteers who would like to walk us through or jump in and do our first role play, which will be pitching compass, throwing some tips and objectives on the screen to remind you what we've talked about in the past, what you should keep in mind while you're pitching compass. Do I have to unmute yourselves and go ahead and volunteer if I have 2 participants? Anybody? Pitching compass?
I'll do it.
Oh, excellent. Marina, do you want to be the prospect or do you want to be the agent?
The agent, so I can pull the band-aid.
Okay, then can I get a volunteer to be Marina's prospect?
You have to be light on me, guys.
Like Ethan has volunteered.
Who has?
Ethan.
Oh, excellent. Okay. I am going to.
By the way, Marina, Rachel said from yesterday, said who's going to volunteer? She goes, Marina volunteer.
Of course, Marina's going to volunteer.
So Colleen is in the queue. So Colleen, you're already volunteered to be next.
Okay.
Yeah, amazing.
Do you have your because I'm sharing a screen, I can't share a timer. Do you have your phone in front of you?
I do. I'll do the timer.
Okay. Can you sit? We're going to give you guys 3 minutes.
I'm sweating over here.
You're gonna knock it out of the park. You're gonna knock it out.
I'm very nice to everybody, so don't worry. I'm known
Yeah,
as
if the roles were reversed, I'd be very
softy.
concerned. If the roles were reversed, I'd be concerned. I'd say, God bless. Good luck.
He just looks mean. He just looks mean.
I get to, yeah, it's the mask. Don't worry.
And so everybody who's following along, just keep in mind, these are their tips and objectives, and we have a much more robust pitching compass section on our website that you can visit afterwards, where you can see Ethan and Chirag role play. It will give you more additional scripts, but this is the general overview. I just want you to keep that in mind. Okay, Chirag, do you have the 3 minutes on the timer?
Gladiator ready, competitor ready. Don't be nervous.
Okay, Marina, you ready?
Sure.
Okay, so you're the agent, right? So we're going to be listing. We'll be calling whatever for a listing. Okay.
Okay. Are we meeting in person?
Yeah, we're meeting in person.
We're in Miami. Everything's in person.
We're in Miami. You're in my penthouse, and you're coming to pitch me.
Oh. Hi, Ethan. How are you? I guess.
Great, Marina. Thank you so much for coming over today. Greatly appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me. This house is beautiful. I mean, you walk in and this view is just absolutely breathtaking.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh no, my pleasure. And I'm meeting with several agents. I'm meeting with several agents, and obviously I'm meeting with Douglas Sullivan agent, and I met with the Keller Williams agent. I liked what you sent me. The only thing is I have no idea what Compass is. So, obviously those are 2 established companies. Why should I consider you and Compass over the other 2?
Well, first of all, I wanted to congratulate you on seeing other people. This is your one of your biggest assets, and it's a very serious decision. It's a very serious matter to sell your home, and you want to make sure that that you're comfortable with whoever you're going to pick. And I'm sure you're going to pick the right person, and hopefully that's going to be me. So, what I wanted to ask you first is, how has been your experience with other real estate agents selling when you purchased the home or when you sold any of your other properties?
My experience has been fine. I've used only Douglas Sullivan agents in the past. So I know the company, and I'm comfortable, with what they can do. But I have an open mind, and I've never heard of Compass, never used them before, so no idea what they're about.
Okay. Well, Compass is a relatively young company. We've been around for about 8 years. We are extremely technological forward, I guess. We focus on giving our agents the tools that's necessary to provide the best service ever. And in order for you to be a Compass agent, you have to be invited. Nobody can just walk in and be a agent of Compass, which is one of the reasons why I joined. Very exclusive. So with that, we put your listing. We try to get as much marketing, as much exposure to your listing as possible. What is it that you would be like the ideal? Have you looked at any marketing material that you think that you'd like your house to be exposed?
Well, I mean, look, I'm only just going by my previous experience. I know Douglas Elliman has a national network. They were able to market my listing all over the country. I like the marketing they did. Technology is great, but how does it benefit me?
Okay, we have
Time.
Okay. So, Marina, my feedback, remember the number one rule, right? Number one rule. You were worried about the words too much, what you were going to say, as opposed to how you were going to say it, and it came off like you were avoiding the question, or you didn't know what to say. So, again, we want to worry about not worrying about what to say and how we say it. It wouldn't have mattered to me what you said to me. If you would have come off and said, look, I know you talked to Solomon in the past. You've never used me. I'm going to get the job done for you, and this is why. And then go on and list Compass's A, B, C, D, top marketing people from all over, all the things we talk about with Compass in a confident way. It would have been a completely different experience for that seller. So again, for everybody, and this goes across any role play, any objection, any topic, anything we do together, it is not what you say, it's how you say it. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face, till everybody just understands it. Don't worry about necessarily what you are saying. If you say it confidently, it comes across that way. So, Maureen did a very good job. I would just focus less on picking the words so carefully, and you were kind of avoiding the answer by asking me more questions, which is fine. But I sensed you were trying not to answer the question. So, but
I was just worried about
amazing job
picking the right word.
Yeah, that's right. But that comes off. So then, when you're worried about that in your head, your rate of speech, the confidence, your tone, all of that gets affected subconsciously. Like you don't even realize it, but it comes across.
I do.
Okay, well, it just just understand where, especially if the guy's telling you, look, he's already had good experience with Douglas Sullivan. Now you really have to work hard to explain to him what Compass is about and what we do, and not even so much Compass, what you are about. Right? He wants to know what Compass is. You tell him about what Compass is, but more importantly, he's hiring you.
Well, what would you, just like Jody was asking, what would you say?
Okay, Chirag, you want to do it with me?
Yep.
You want to do you pitch Compass? This is your thing, so I'll be the seller. You.
Oh no! You're the one giving the feedback, so I get to be the seller to that.
Oh, okay, fine.
I'm going to use the same thing you said, right? Specific context. I appreciate you, Ethan, coming over. We're interviewing 3 agents. I met a Keller Williams guy. I've previously sold all my properties with Douglas Elliman, the #1 brokerage in the area. And, I just want to learn about Compass, and I know nothing about them. So what can you tell me?
Sure. Well, Compass is actually 8 years old, and the second fastest tech company ever to reach $1 billion in revenue, tied with Amazon. Facebook is the only company ahead to reach $1 billion in revenue. And we have been able to get some of the top executives in all aspects of technology and marketing, from Apple, from Condé Nast, from Tiffany's, from Google, all of the top companies in the world top executives from those companies that come to work at Compass. There's a reason they've come to work at Compass. It's because we do real estate better than anybody else. We are the future of real estate. And if you want your property marketed properly in this market for top dollar in the fastest amount of time, my team with the backing of Compass is the way to go. Now, I'm curious from your previous experience with Douglas Elliman, what you think they did well and what you think they didn't do as well selling your properties.
There it is, right? So look, for everyone on here, this is what I want you guys to do. When somebody asks you information, can you tell me about your company? What's Compass? Depending on the market you are, it's different, right? And even if you're in New York City where it's an established company, people are still going to ask you about your company to see how you talk about it. That's like the first piece of information you should really master. So write it down, make sure it's clear, it's concise. And here's the other one. Based on the way that you describe it, does the other person actually understand the value they're getting from you? A lot of times when we're communicating, it's in a way that doesn't make sense to the other party. And as long as we communicate in a way that they actually understand what they're getting, same example I use, like if you put $5 in a jukebox, you got to know how many songs you're getting out. If not, you're going to put the money. You're not putting the money in. So if the sellers aren't very clear as to what they're getting out of when they hire you, it's going to be harder for them to hire you.
To answer, so Marina, did you hear the difference? No, I said it doesn't matter what I said.
Oh my gosh.
All Chirag heard was, "Oh, this is a great company.
No.
They're a great company, and they're going to get the job done." That's all he had to hear. That's all that's now ringing in his head. Now he's like, "Okay."
That's not true. I mean, yes, the intonation is quite important, but what you said is gold.
Yeah, okay, but again, I could have said other things. But what is resonating in Chirag right now, the reason the conversation is even continuing, is because he at least now feels that if he hires me, we can get the job done. At a minimum, at a bare minimum. That's what he thinks. And Jody, to answer your question, the Med C would have come into play probably at this point once I started part 2 of the conversation with his previous experience and then what his expectations and previous experience would be then. I don't think it really applies to the beginning when you're describing Compass, but now part 2 of the conversation, certainly you can apply the Med C. Are we answering these questions that are on the
No, we have
in the chat? Okay.
So we're moving on to online leads. So I saw that Joanne and Colleen wanted to volunteer. Do you guys still feel up to it for online leads? Joanne and Colleen?
Yes, I'll do it.
Awesome.
Hi, I was more going to, I was going to be the agent in the other scenario, but okay. I can try to do this, the online lead. I'll be the lead if somebody wants to be the agent.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Joanne,
listen, do we need to spend a little bit more time like pitching Compass, or is it already that we're going to go on to another topic?
now
If
this
you
is
guys
just
want, I can do a whole entire role play session on Pitch and Compass. If that's what, we're here, we are people of the people, as they say. So if this is an area that everyone wants to work on, like we 100% could spend more time doing this. You guys all have access to a whole Pitching Compass program. It's part of your, it's in all of your 360 libraries. So I would encourage you guys to watch those videos. They're like 2 or 3 minutes long.
And I'll send out the link afterwards so everybody has it, and even if you didn't do the role play.
Everyone wants more Compass. All right, so next Tuesday I'll just be
Pitching Compass again.
Yeah, it'll be Pitching Compass.
Yeah, today is meant to be more of a rapid fire review sort of thing. So we are not obviously not considering your feelings, but we are certainly. I think, as Chirag said, he'll next Tuesday he'll focus everything on Pitching Compass. And again, I think Chirag, me, anybody, I probably have a little more time than Chirag does. But if something comes up between now and next Tuesday, and you need some advice on Pitching Compass, please reach out to me. There is no reason to go in unprepared. if you don't have to. So I am offering my assistance if you need it.
That's very generous, Ethan. And Joanne, to answer your question, just for everybody, a quick refresh on Med C. It's motivations, expectations, disappointments, and concerns. Okay, can we get 3 minutes on the clock, please? Joanne's going to be the agent.
All right, ready?
It's going to be the
Gladiator ready. I hope that people used to see American Gladiator. Competitor ready, go.
Hi, this is Joanne from Compass. I was just giving you a call to follow up on your inquiry about 288 Palm.
Oh, hi. Yeah, hi, Joanne. Yeah, I'm interested in that 288 Palm. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Sure. It's a new property. We just finished building it in this year. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. It's 4 levels. It's on Palm Island. It has a pool. It has a garage and 2 entrances, one from Palm Island and Palm Avenue and Coconut Lane. Does those general specs work for you, or are you looking for something bigger?
It might work. Well, how much is it?
I'm sorry. Oh, it's 3.5 million.
Oh, 3.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. That seems a little bit pricey for that type of real estate, for that kind of.
Are you looking for a dry lot or a water lot?
I'd rather have a water lot if I can.
Sure.
Do you have anything like that?
I have access to all the inventory in the area. Are you moving from out of state, or do you live in Miami already?
Actually, I'm moving from out of state. I live in Boston right now, and we're trying to retire, and we're looking for a place over on, preferably by the water.
Sure. Okay. Well, you could find some beautiful waterfront properties in that 3.5 million, and even less expensive. When are you guys coming to town to look at property? What's your timeline on making this purchase?
Well, we don't have a rush. We really want to find what we want. So, I'm looking around at other places and talking to other people and so forth to find out what the best thing is for me.
Has anybody sent you like a buyer intake questionnaire that asks you a bunch of questions about exactly what you're looking for? That's kind of helpful, because sometimes you don't even know something's important until it's on the questionnaire and you say, oh yeah, for sure we need a garage, or I must have a washer and dryer. If you want, I could send that to you. And I just would need to get your email, but what I'll do is when we get off the phone, I'll text you my contact information, and then you could reply. And look, you could use that with me, or you could use that with the next realtor. I don't really care. I just want to help you find a place that works for you. And one thing about Florida, though, is that we do co-broke here, which means that once you find a realtor, we all have access to the same inventory. So you don't have to deal with 5 different realtors, and it kind of streamlines the whole process. So this way you can just kind of deal with one person, and then as you find stuff, you could send it to them. I could also set you up on what's called a collection. Are you familiar with Compass? I'm a Compass agent.
Hold on. Ready?
Wait. No, you're kind of going a little too fast for me. I'm a little confused.
So here's the feedback I have for you, Joanne. I'll kick this one off. So what I want to share with you first is if you go back, I encourage you to watch this recording when you did this. You had a lot of good points, right? You went to that buyer intake form, right? Which I thought was a good pivot based on what she was saying. But when you said that, and it could be helpful at that point, we should have stopped, allowed her to engage in the conversation, right? Then you went into, I can call and text you the email address. Then you went into another area about Florida. Then you went into a thing about a Compass collection. And at that point, it was 4 different concepts that you had in one. Like if it was writing, it was just one long sentence, where each one of those things are valid things that you can engage with that could have extended the conversation and given her more value, right? So pause says, would you like the buyer intake? How'd that find helpful? I'll send that over to you. What's the best way to contact you, right? You could have gone down into it and continued down it. So when you're talking to people, you have good information to share, but make sure when you share one concept, right? Kind of like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, that you engage the other person back into the conversation and see where they want the conversation to go. Does that
Yeah,
make
I felt the feedback on my side, I just felt like she was throwing everything at me and she didn't ask me a lot of questions. What she asked me, like when we wanted to move down there, and then it kind of reverted to like what she wanted to talk about. So anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll focus on the positive. I think you did a good job when you said that, I just want you to have this information to be helpful for you. I don't care if you use this with other brokers down the road. I just want you to have this. So as that is very, very positive when you start focusing on their best interest, because at the end of the day, in any of these role plays, what the other party is saying in their head the whole time, and I mentioned it before, my role play with Marina, right, is what's in it for me. You can go on and on how wonderful all these things are, yada, yada, yada. If the other party is not understanding how it's going to benefit them, you're not going to win. So by doing things like that and making sure you are thinking about their best interest first and not yours, which you did well, then that is going to go a long way in converting any prospect that you're talking to. So that was very good that you brought that up, that you really were thinking about their best interest. I do agree with the other feedback that if it's structured maybe a little differently, the effect would have been even better. But overall, very good job.
Just get so excited.
I know we are. It's not just you. It's a real estate agent overall big problem. We all have diarrhea of the mouth. We can't stop talking. We just think that it just, unless we're saying it all the time, no one's going to buy it. But you'll learn that's not true. And the most effective conversions I've had in some of the most effective situations when I literally said one sentence and stopped talking, and then we had like a stare off. I mean, a client asked me, "Are you willing to do this for 5% commission?" I said no, and we just looked at each other like this. It felt like 10 minutes. No one talked.
Yeah,
and then they said, "Okay, send me the agreement." That was it.
I need to have.
I could have gone on for an hour. Answering that. It was just a question. It wasn't really an objection. Will you do it for 5%? No, I won't. And that was it. A lot of these things are tests. They test you a lot of the time. So again, the point was, remember, always keep in your mind, are you explaining to them what's in their best interest, not yours?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love the passion.
Yeah.
I love the passion. It's for love of the game. That's why you want to say so.
Listen, it's
Absolutely.
For love of the game. Chirag, did you have something you wanted to add in there?
Yeah, look, like people pick up on your energy, right? And focus on that enthusiasm to just want to help somebody. And if you bring that great energy you have, Joanne, to that part, like Colleen would feel that, and she'd walk away and says, "Wow, even if this person doesn't work with me or not, they just want to give me the information to help find me the best home," right? So what I always tell everyone is, don't focus on so much what you're going to say. Focus on the experience you want to create for somebody and what they're going to do after based on their interaction with you. Because if that's what you're focused on, the way that you show up, the words that you use will ultimately change.
So Chirag, the other thing is I think what would have been important, I mean, she had great energy, was like to qualify that I even had the money for a $3.5 million property. I think that's kind of really important for us to do.
I tend not to do that on the first call.
You tend not to? Well, I mean, not right away, but as you're talking, and then
I typically wait to meet them first in person, because typically, if I was on a first date and started asking so many super personal questions like that, the walls of trust do not come down, and they become very guarded, and they feel. Now, it's up to you. If you don't even want to waste your time going on a one showing, that's completely up to you. I'm just, from my experience, it's a much more effective conversation once they've met you. You've started to cement the relationship a little bit, and they are more comfortable than asking that question. So there has to be some element of trust in the beginning. and then you can verify it once you meet in person. It's a much more effective conversation. So just something to keep in mind.
Excellent. Okay, moving on to our next lineup item, expired listings. Do we have coaches? Is there anything that you want to add to these tips or objectives before we get going?
No,
Okay, do I have two
it's not
breaks?
what you say, it's how you say it.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave you in the hands of Ethan. I have to drop off, but look,
Okay.
I'll step in as the judge, the Kelly Clarkson, Gwen Stefani. Do I get to pick my judge this morning?
Maybe Adam Levine if
I'd
you
love to
want.
be the agent if that's okay.
Yeah, does somebody want to volunteer to be the expired listing? Is Heidi on? Heidi does a great expired listing.
Oh my gosh, I knew I was going to get picked. I get
Heidi,
picked every
who
week.
performance you give, Heidi?
Oh, how funny.
I need to see a reenactment.
Oh my gosh. Do I have to put myself on video? I'm
No,
telling you what, I look
you
crazy
don't have
today. I've been at a house getting ready for inspections. Okay.
I ambushed you. Don't.
Who is being the agent?
I am
didn't-
Colleen. Yep.
Colleen.
Okay. Let me wrap my head around
Okay,
this.
I have
Okay.
3 minutes on the clock.
Okay.
Ready, set, go.
Oh, hi. Is this Heidi?
This is,
Oh, hi, Heidi. This is Colleen Kelly from Compass. How are you today?
I'm good, Colleen, but I have to tell you, my phone has been ringing off the hook with agents. I mean, I just want to get through a cup of coffee.
I understand. I bet you are getting a lot of phone calls. Yeah, because you have a beautiful house from what I can see online. So do you have a couple of minutes that we could talk?
Well, I have about 30 seconds, and because I have to run out, I have to take my dog to doggy daycare, and then I have to go to H-E-B and get groceries, and then I've got to come back and I've got to clean my house. I've got to figure out why I can't sell this stupid thing.
Yeah, I understand. Well, I think if you can take 30 seconds with me, I would love to share with you just some ideas about Compass and who I am and how I could conceivably sell your house. How does that sound to you?
Well, if you make it quick, tell me
Let me
the
ask you
top 3
this.
things that you can do for me.
Okay, well, first of all, I'd have to see the house. And secondly, have you ever heard of Compass before?
I have.
Okay.
I see a lot of the signs around.
Great. Well, so we're the a very top-notch real estate firm. We have some of the best people working for us that have come from other companies, and we've expanded quite quickly into many markets. But the biggest thing for you as a consumer is that we have technology that allows me to really market your property properly, so that I can get as many eyeballs as possible and as many people into your property as one can, which is
Okay, Colleen, but hang on. The other agent told me that, through Houston Association of Realtors, which is top, which is the top MLS probably in the US. She told me that, and I could get all my listings everywhere. And, I don't know why it didn't sell, because if it's on Zillow and Julia and, home.com, I don't understand.
Right, I understand what she's saying, but we are a different company. Let me ask you this: why do you think the property didn't sell?
I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this. I know you're stretched for time. How about I come by and look at the property and tell you a little bit more about the marketing I would do for your property so that we can get it sold in the quickest amount of time for top dollar. How does that sound?
Well, let me think about it. Let me talk with my husband and maybe get back with you, because everybody wants to meet with me.
Right, I understand. How does I understand, but can we meet anyway? I might be the right agent for you, so you don't have to really meet other people.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay, great. So how does your schedule look for tomorrow at either 11 or 2?
Our time's out.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So very good job. A couple of points. Colleen, I think that,
Oh, I have to go. Our fire alarm is going off. There's an electrician here. I'm so sorry.
okay,
I have to
no
go.
problem.
I will. I'll get the feedback later. Thank
It's
you.
being recorded. You can watch it later.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'll give the feedback to everybody else. Heidi had said she already knows who Compass is. So Colleen then still continued to go into a whole explanation as to who Compass was. It's not necessarily necessary. They know who Compass is. Great. So now you got to focus on yourself and why they should hire you. To me, there was too much focus on the company rather than what Colleen can do as an agent herself to get the property sold and differentiate herself from the other agents. So if they tell you they know who Compass is, you don't need to waste your time and talk about Compass. Then you can talk about your marketing plan and some of those things. She, definitely, I like that she pushed a little bit at the end and didn't settle for the first no about the meeting. And at the end of the day, she got the meeting. So definitely don't take no at face value, especially the first one. But overall, it was a short call, but with expired listings, something I do a lot of, they've had something happen before in their previous experience that did not go well. Whether sometimes it's just that it didn't sell. Sometimes, well, all the time, it didn't sell, plus bad experience with other brokers. So a lot of questions. The Med C, very appropriate here to try to dig deeper as to what went right, what went wrong. Now, sometimes that can be done on this first call. Sometimes you're just going to talk a little bit more in broad general terms just to get the appointment. Remember, the goal of this first call is just to get an in-person appointment. You're not getting a listing on this call. So this first call, you just want to get in front of them. Now, when you're in front of them, you can ask the Med C questions, ask all those things, go through your marketing plan. But in the beginning, the first call is more of a broad overview, general overview as to what you guys can do, more rapid fire stuff, maybe a little bit about Compass if they don't know, but more details about your team. And you just love the opportunity, some highlights. And then I more love the opportunity to go through everything in more detail and about the custom marketing plan for their property, right? Custom marketing plan is people like that. Why? Because you're doing something specifically for them, for their house.
Heidi has a question for you.
Heidi. She does?
So
Yes.
when there's pushback, when there's a little bit of pushback on the end, like I was doing, and you're saying go on into a more personalized aspect of it all. Is it, I'm not sure if it's okay to say, well, how was the relationship with your brokerage? Did you feel, you were being taken care of or something like that? I don't know if that's really appropriate.
Well, you weren't pushing back on Compass per se. You said,
No, but like,
yeah.
But like if I'm trying to get into her house.
Right.
And,
Ask your question again. So
is it okay to bring more of a, like a personalized question, like, after she said, or why didn't your house sell? I'm like, I don't know. And just say, well, did you feel like you had a good relationship with your brokerage? Were they communicating with you?
Well, I think you can drill down maybe with more specific questions about the process, meaning like a good follow-up question. Well, how did you feel the traffic was, right? Did you feel you were having a lot of showings? Did you get any offers? I think that will give you a good sense of how they felt overall about the broker. Like, oh no, no one came to see it.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, we had a lot of traffic and, one lowball offer, blah, blah, blah. So that gives you an idea, okay, maybe pricing was okay. Maybe they did an okay marketing job, but couldn't just get anybody to make an offer. So based on all of this information, you can kind of start putting the puzzle together as to how their experience really was, right? And what is their frustration level, right? That, well, we've had on for 6 months and 3 people have come through the house. Well, that's going to be a tougher nut to crack, right? Because they're going to be, what good are you real estate brokers I 6 months. It was on all these websites, and no one came to see it.
I'm sorry, I
Right.
know, I know.
So
I have a
all,
question.
yeah.
What do you guys think of the fact that she said that she's super pressed for time? I feel like if it was me, it'd be like, I'm not listening to anything you're saying. Like, get off the phone. I just have
It
to
could be.
Can
I would have pushed for the meeting right away.
Yes, that's what I would be like.
If she would have said, I have 30 seconds. Okay, I understand you're pressed for time. 30 seconds. This is who I would have given like 2 highlights of my team. I'd love the opportunity to show you how we get our clients the most amount of money in the fastest amount of time with our custom marketing plan. I need 30 minutes of your time. When would work for you and your husband? Right? And then you'll see how she responds to that, because all of a sudden she may ask more questions, and now all of a sudden she has more time. Right? Oh, I don't really have 30 seconds. I have more like 10 minutes. So when you start controlling the conversation and start flipping the script onto them, all of a sudden you start exposing what they said. You're like, okay, well, either they really had 30 seconds and they'll be like, okay, let's set a meeting or call me back later, whatever it may be. But I definitely would have, if someone says, I literally have 30 seconds to talk or a minute to talk, great. This is who we are. Very quickly, I would love to
Wait,
set
go
up a
on.
time
What
to
would
meet
you
with you
say?
first.
What would you say? This is who we are. What? Like they said.
No, well, not who we are. I'm saying, well, you have your own statistics about your team. So, I would say, oh, well, just want to let you know, we specialize in expired listings. We've sold, over 40 expired listings in the last 12 months alone, just including the pandemic. We'd love to show you how we create a custom marketing plan for you and your family to get your home sold in the fastest amount of time for the most amount of money possible. I understand you have limited time now, but would love to stop by, see the house, and discuss it with you guys maybe in the next couple of days. What is your availability?
Ethan, can I chime in really quickly?
Justin, go
Yes,
ahead.
Justin, of course.
I like, you're the master cold caller, so I just want to throw that out there. But I think there was one question missing, and she gave the opening when she said, I have 30 seconds. I would have asked, what's most important to you about the agent and company representing you in the sale of your home? Then once she told me that, I would have went into whether it was marketing price, I would have went into that. Then asked for to meet of how we could get to her goal, whatever her goal is, in person. That's how I would have framed the pitch.
Yeah, that question works a lot, and I use that a lot as part of the Med C process. Generally when I'm in person, I typically, for me, can get into the door just based on our experience and track record with expired listings. So I typically, I like that part of the conversation when they're looking me in the eyes and I'm looking them in the eyes. But just using real trends and using things like that in our experience and success as a team, for me, typically has been enough just to get in the door. Remember, this first call is all about getting in the door. So Justin, I agree with you 100%. That question should be asked at some point. And depending on the amount of time and how you're feeling, maybe you need to do that on the first call to even get in the door. But again, it's going to just depend on how this first call is going. And for agents, Renee, to your question, who don't have that track record, again, you just want to be able to show them. You could talk about, again, Compass and what we do. You can use Compass in a general sense. You can talk about just you and how you're going to create a custom marketing plan, and you've had very good experience with agents. And a lot of this is kind of fake it till you make it in real estate. Obviously, you don't want to lie about things that you did, because that's generally pretty easy to look up. But again,
I loved what you said, Ethan. You said, and I think it was in our last call, you said, why don't you, you can send out, in this neighborhood, Compass has done X, Y, and Z. So you're in the umbrella. It might not be yours, but it's Compass and it's speaking to that. And so
you could say Compass has sold X amount in the building or X amount in the area, whatever it may be. And I would love to show you how, and again, typically people, especially expirers, they're going to meet with multiple agents. Now, it just so happens a lot of these markets, especially in New York, they're getting called by a lot more Compass agents than they used to be. And so a lot, they say, well, you're like the 10th Compass agent to call. So not only are you going to have to figure out, you Compass versus everyone else, but then you're going to have to figure out you versus other Compass agents, right? What you bring to the table. And again, that's going to come down to compatibility with you and the prospect. So that brings down to, again, things we talked about with matching rate of speech and more of this neuro-linguistic stuff and personality and finding things that you connect with on a personal basis that's going to connect them to you as a person, not just a real estate agent, and as a connection that's going to enhance your chances of getting hired. So, that's kind of like now the higher level of it. It's not just now what you say, how you say it. Well, it is how you say it again, but not how you say it only as far as confidence, but how you say it as far as relative to how they are speaking to you. If I get an older person on the phone and they're speaking very slowly and have trouble hearing me, and I'm going to speak 100 miles an hour, they're going to hang up on you. They're not going to trust you because you're not like them. And the opposite is true also. Sorry, Rachel.
Very good point. I always appreciate when you say that because it reminds you, and I don't know, I mean, I'm a fast talking New Yorker, you're a fast talking New Yorker, right? But when it's somebody who has a different cadence than you do, how important that is. You pointed that out in the first session. I think it's incredibly valuable.
You need to be a chameleon, and it's, sometimes out of the comfort zone. But, I think I told the story of my pitch I did, and half Chinese English. I don't speak Chinese, but I spoke to a Chinese person. They spoke very poor English, and I spoke in very broken English to match them, and they hired me. Because they felt that they understood me, and I was speaking at their level. And I mean, it was awkward, but got the job done. If I would have just spoken my regular English and flew through it, they wouldn't have understood me and they wouldn't have hired me.
Right. Well, that being said, can we get 2 final volunteers to close us out today for FSBOs?
FSBOs.
Any brave souls?
I'll jump in there.
Yeah, Don. Don's my FSBO guy.
Yes. And does anybody want, Don, do you want to be the agent or the seller?
This time, let me be the agent this time.
Okay, excellent. Can we get somebody to be the seller?
That looks like Joanne J.
Oh, Joanne, let's do it.
Let's give it a try.
Okay. I got 3 minutes on the clock. Ready, set, go.
Begin.
Okay, ring, ring.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, how you doing? I'm calling about your house for sale. I'm looking to see if it's still available.
It is.
Okay, great. That's good news. Just want to let you know, my name is Donald Ringhauser. I work with Compass Realty. I am an agent. And I'd like to come by and see your house. I just want to let you know, I do not have a specific buyer at this moment, but I do have buyers looking for houses. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I saw your ad. It's a very nice ad. I like the way you wrote it up. Did you write that yourself?
I did.
Yes, it was very nice. I liked it. And the pictures too. Did you actually have them professional or is that?
No, we just took them with our iPhone.
Oh, really? Must be one of the newer ones. Pictures are phenomenal these days.
They are. They really are.
I saw this a little more. Is there something you might be able to tell me more about the house? I can read it in the description, but something a little more, personal.
Well, we've had the house for 15 years, but we recently, we renovated the bathrooms and the kitchen in the last 5 years, and we took out the carpet and we put, some tile porcelain floors down. So we've done some upgrades to it.
Oh, that's very nice. It's nice to hear. I'd love to come by and take a look at the house. Is that possible?
Yeah, you can come by and take a look at it.
That's great. That's great to hear. Would today work for you, or is tomorrow better? Say 4 p.m.
Yeah, 4 p.m. tomorrow works.
That'd be great. Fantastic. I will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. then. Okay.
Okay, yeah, we're just, we're willing to pay a commission to a buyer's
Okay.
agent. We just kind of are trying to save money on the other side. That's why we're
Okay.
doing it ourselves. So
Yeah,
you
I understand that completely.
Yeah. Okay, cool. No problem.
Okay. So one of the things, it actually, as we talk, it sounds like, the aspect of selling a house, the money end is important, correct?
Oh yeah, it's a nice chunk of change. I mean, it's a $500,000 house, so will save us 15 grand. If I
Yeah.
could handle it myself.
Okay, that's great. I'd love to come by. Would you mind if I came by with some paperwork and stuff to show you how I could actually, market it, and how I can actually show you that if I could get you the price you need, then it'd be worthwhile to hire me as an agent?
Listen, you can come by and bring whatever you want, buddy. I'll listen to what you have to say, but I'm not, I'm not trying to, throw 15 grand out the window. So, I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
come
understand that.
yourself,
I understand, money is tight these days. No problems or anything with that. Okay, that's great, so we'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. And then we'll talk for a few minutes and then we'll go from there. We see how it goes, okay?
All right, cool.
Okay, that sounds great. I'll talk to you tomorrow then. Mhm.
With 10 seconds to spare.
All right, good job. So a couple of things. Number one, Don, in the beginning, I definitely would ask first about if she's having brokers come preview the house, as opposed to just being so forward as to say, I'd like to come to your house, like as the first thing that you say. You want to try to develop a little bit more rapport before inviting yourself over, but that was good. As far as the end, I would ask the question with the commission, right? So if she were talking and she said, just so you know, we're willing to pay. You didn't even ask what the commission she was offering, Don? That's an important question.
No,
right?
actually, I didn't ask that. And I also didn't ask if she's
Yep.
actually, willing to pay a commission or she's willing to work with
Yeah,
agents.
and just say,
I
and
did not.
you need to understand what her bottom line is, right? So they're looking to say 15,000. So if they're asking 500,000, blah blah blah, they're willing to pay, I guess 15,000 in commission. So they want to maybe net 485. So if you can say, look, if I can show you how we can still net 485 and you pay 6% commission, is that something you're open to? It's a different tack than saying, hey, is it okay if I bring paperwork and this? It's making a lot of assumptions. So we don't want to make too many assumptions. May come off as pushy. I like the confidence though.
Smart,
But there's a fine line between confident and pushy, and basically not giving off the impression that we didn't listen to anything that they just said. So what works to flip them is to ask questions and make them see what they are thinking or feeling is not actually right? So then it becomes their idea and not your idea. That's the key. So especially with FSBOs, they're different from expired listings. Expired listings, they've already hired a broker, they've had experience, they didn't have a house that sells, they want to try to find a new broker probably, although some broker experiences drive expireds to become FSBOs. But FSBOs in general, they have a mental state, they are really in the mode of saving money and not hiring an agent, so we need to tread delicately about getting in there. So what do we have some questions? Do you ask on a first call?
Hey, Ethan, it's Colleen. I'm back.
Hi, Colleen.
Is there any way you could give the feedback? What feedback you had for me on that? Do you remember?
We'll send it to you, Colleen. We'll send you the clip.
All right.
Yeah, it's recorded. We'll get you the clip.
Renee asked, do you ask on a call? And she thought
on
Don
first call?
Yeah.
To me, I thought Don got it already when seller agreed to lend preview. Yeah. I mean, the call could have been 30 seconds long. She said, okay to come over, but, and that's where it could have ended. And then you could have the whole conversation in person. Could have been over right there, right? Because again, much like expireds, you just want to get in the house and be able to talk to them in person. So could have been done, 100%. I feel like they wanted to continue and try to practice some of the stuff, which is fine. But it could have been over then. Yes. What? Yes, Renee?
So sorry. So do you actually ask, what the seller is offering the commission to the?
Well, I would ask. So I would say, well, in the beginning, are you still looking to sell your house? Yes, we are. Are you offering to work with buyer's brokers if they bring a buyer? Yes, we are. Okay. Well, what is the commission you're willing to pay, or offering to pay? Not willing, offering to pay. All right, and let's say 2.5%, 3%, 2%, whatever it may be. Like, okay, cool. So based on your asking price, seems to me, just doing some quick math, that you're looking to net X amount of dollars. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. Oh, cool. Just hypothetically, if I'm able to show you that you can still walk away with that money and pay a full 6% commission and hire an agent to take all this work off your plate, would that be something you're open to? No rational person would say no to that question. If they're okay walking away with $485, they will be okay walking away with $485, paying me 20% commission.
It's a really good point.
Right?
It is.
And if they do say no, like, no, I'm not paying 6% no matter what. I don't care if I walk away with what I want to walk away with. That's probably not a client you want to get involved with anyway. Probably a miserable experience for you.
I guess it would also depend on if it was priced right, because you have to have a margin,
Well, you've done some homework, and obviously, you want to get that meeting, and then you can go in there and say, look, I've done the homework. To be honest, I don't think I'll be able to live up to the expectations of getting you a full 6% to walk away with this price. But at the same time, at this price, I don't think you're going to be able to sell the property anyway. So are you more interested in having 97% of 500,000, or are you open to having 94% of 485,000? Because of that number, we can sell it. Again, when you ask questions that are just so obvious and rational, it's hard for them to say no. But you need to ask the right questions. Then it becomes their idea.
Thank you, Ethan. This has been so valuable. Thank you so much for this today and the past 8 weeks.
My pleasure.
I think we have all grown tremendously because of all of your golden nuggets. Even me, who's never going to do this, I feel like I could walk into a FSBO right now.
You never know.
And say,
you can use it in other.
There
you go.
Here we go.
There we go.
So everybody, think about next week. We're gonna be starting this more regularly on Tuesdays with Sean.
I'm running, everybody.
So
see you.
if you have scenarios, send them in advance, and we'll make sure we get them. Okay. And everybody I'll send this out later, and everybody have a great Tuesday. Okay. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.